The CHNEP Water Atlas has over 600 water body pages for bays, lakes, and rivers. Water body pages will have a brief description of the water body at the top of the page, including the area or size of the water body and the associated WBIDs. WBID stands for Water Body Identification, and they are used by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection as a unique identifier for a water body or water body segment used to represent an assessment unit. WBIDs are intended to represent portions of water bodies with the same water quality. The description will also tell you which basin this water body is located in and will have a link to that basin page. Badges are displayed at the top of water body pages to indicate if the water body has a special designation or is part of a program. The CHNEP Water Atlas has badges for water bodies recognized as outstanding Florida waters, as well as water bodies that are part of the Cape Coral Canal Watch program and the Lee County Pond Watch program. There are also badges on water body pages within Charlotte County that link to the Charlotte County Water Quality Dashboard, as well as badges on the Winter Haven Lakes pages that link to the City of Winter Haven's annual Lakes Report. So you can see here that Estero Bay is an outstanding Florida water. Clicking on the badge will open a new tab to the Outstanding Florida Waters homepage on the Florida Department of Environmental Protection's website. On the right side of water body pages is a map showing the water body. Users can click on the Characteristics tab to view information on the water body size, tributaries, passes, and latitude and longitude. The Data tab includes a list of all of the stations and data sources within that water body. Users can click on the data source to view a metadata summary for that station. The Data tab also includes a button to download data for this water body. Clicking this button will reroute you to the data download tool with all of the sampling stations and parameters collected within that water body pre-selected. The Explore tab allows users to search for a different water body using a standard search bar, or users can click on the water body search button to search from a sortable list, or click the bottom button to see all water bodies on an interactive map. All water body pages display an impairment status with the water body class and type. The impairment status is based on the Florida Department of Environmental Protection's biennial assessment of whether waters meet their designated uses for aquatic life, primary contact and recreation, fish and shellfish consumption, and drinking water supplies. In this example, we see that Estero Bay is a Class 3M estuary and is impaired. Florida's water quality standards are arranged in order of the degree of protection required, with Class 1 waters generally having the most stringent water quality criteria and Class 5 waters having the least stringent criteria. Class 3 waters are designated for fish consumption and recreation, propagation, and maintenance of a healthy, well-balanced population of fish and wildlife. The M stands for marine. To understand more about the impairment status and which parameters it's impaired for, users can click on the impairment status boxes to zoom down to the full impaired waters section. Here, a table is provided with information from the assessment, including the WBID, the parameters it's impaired for, and the status. So, Estero Bay is impaired for mercury in fish tissue and total nitrogen. It's important to note that Florida has a statewide mercury impairment, its largest source being atmospheric deposition from local and global power generation. The Florida Department of Health and Florida Department of Environmental Protection have identified over 400 water bodies that are impaired due to mercury found in fish tissue. For mercury, the status here says TMDL complete, meaning a total maximum daily load, or TMDL, has already been written to address the impairment. The statewide mercury TMDL can be found linked under the related documents in links. This is where all of the TMDL and Basin Management Action Plan, or BMAP, documents are located. For total nitrogen, the status says impaired. meaning that the water body does not meet standards and a TMDL is required. There is a lot of information to unpack regarding the Impaired Waters Rule Assessment, so we suggest clicking the link Learn More about IWR Assessment. This page breaks down how the assessment works and how to interpret the results in more detail. The color-coded table illustrates how the subcategories such as TMDL complete are rolled up to either impaired, not impaired, insufficient data, or not assessed. Scrolling back to the top of the water body page under View Map/Data, you will see 4 colored boxes for water quality, hydrology, wildlife habitat, and resiliency/weather. Clicking on one of these boxes will open up an interactive map in a new tab. We will revisit these maps in another video. The Water Quality Snapshot compares the most recent water quality data to applicable water quality standards outlined in the Florida Administrative Code for chlorophyll A, total nitrogen, total phosphorus, bacteria, and dissolved oxygen to provide a current snapshot of how a water body is doing. The dials are color-coded to display results that meet water quality standards in green and results that exceed water quality thresholds or do not meet standards in red. The data source, date the data was collected, and the water quality threshold are provided below the snapshot. Users can click on the data source to see the metadata summary for that sample station. The bottom half of water body pages include additional detailed data and expandable sections. The sections are slightly different on bay pages versus river and lake pages based on the types of data available for each water body type. Bay pages feature sections for water quality data and habitat and ecological data such as seagrass coverage and artificial reefs, while river pages feature sections for water quality and water level and flow data. All of the water body pages include expandable sections for recreation, photos, and related information. To view detailed water quality data, click on the plus sign next to water quality. This section displays data related to red tide, nutrient chemistry, water clarity, salinity, bacteria, dissolved oxygen, and other indicators such as pH and temperature. The latest value for each parameter is displayed next to the historic range to provide context, and a small graph is presented with the data. Users can click on the graph to enlarge it. A 10-year scatter plot will pop up, but you can click on the 2-year graph to view just the last 2 years' worth of data, or click on the seasonal variation graph to view box and whisker plots of the historic monthly averages. The Graph Help tab provides more information on how to use and understand the different graphs. Users can click on the Download Data button to download all of the pH data from Estero Bay. Clicking the Download Data button will open the Data Download tool in a new tab, with all of the stations within Estero Bay pre-selected and the parameter pH pre-selected. You can put in the desired start and end dates, or just click Download the data to get the full period of record. You can also click the little button next to the graph to download the data as well. Scrolling down to the Habitat/Ecology section, click on the plus sign next to Habitats to view seagrass coverage and artificial reef data. The seagrass coverage section includes an embedded map of aerial seagrass coverage next to a chart showing seagrass acreage in that water body over the years. Above the embedded map is a time slider. Users can click on the arrows to view seagrass coverage from year to year. So let's click on 2004, for example. And then I'm going to click on the arrow to advance from year to year. In Estero Bay, seagrass acreage data is collected periodically, and there may be some years without data. The most recent data from Estero Bay is from 2021. You can use the plus buttons to zoom in on the map and view the data in more detail. You can click Show Hide Labels to turn the labels on the map. Users can also click on the bar chart to view an enlarged chart with total acreages above each bar. Click the Download Seagrass Coverage Data for All Bays link to download a spreadsheet with the total seagrass acreages for each bay for each year. The Artificial Reef section shows a picture of artificial reef locations on the map. Clicking on the map will open a new tab to FWC's Artificial Reef Deployment Locator map, where users can click on a reef location to view more information about that reef. Users can also click on the View/Download Artificial Reef Locations button to go to the FWC Download Reef Locations page, where users can download the data in their preferred format, either as a PDF, Excel spreadsheet, or shapefile and KML. You can click on the plus sign next to Recreation to expand the Recreation section. Here you can find maps and waterway navigation guides, descriptions of facilities and recreational amenities, as well as warnings and restrictions pertaining to their use. This page also includes information on local parks, preserves, trails, and beaches, as well as fishing regulations and licenses in Florida. Users can click on the plus sign next to Photos to expand the Photos section to view photos of Estero Bay. You can click on a photo to view it in full screen with a description and credits. The Water Atlas has several historical photos from local archives in addition to more recent photographs. Clicking on the View More Photos button will take you to the photo library, where you can see all of the photos from that water body. Finally, the Related Information section contains links to any other data, reports, projects, or other relevant information to Estero Bay.